120,000.
970,000.
Over 1 million Lagosians, they know that if you give me your afternoon, I will give you hard facts.
Well done, Sandra, all to going beyond the headlines and focusing on the facts.
I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. First hard fact of the day, 357 confirmed COVID cases yesterday. We don't have Lagos numbers and it's at 357. So we're still waiting for Lagos. Currently, the state with the highest number is Rivers. Rivers has 170 COVID cases. Once we get the Lagos numbers, I'll let you know what the Lagos numbers are. This third wave is here. So unless you have to go out, please don't go out. When you do go out, wear your mask, maintain your distance from people, wash and sanitize your hands as frequently as possible. That way we can keep ourselves and each other safe. Second hard fact of the day, voter registration is still ongoing. So go to cvr.inecnigeria.org to get registered today. That's CVR. So Charlie Victor River, ORG as in Orange River Golf. So cvr.inecnigeria.org. I always say that 1 million Lagosians cannot be wrong because, hey, they choose this show every day starting at 3 p.m. We'll start with the big three, as always, talking about the federal government suing the striking resident doctors. Then let's talk about the High Court granting the CBN an ex parte order to freeze the accounts of some fintechs for 6 months. And then let's talk about the reasons why the CBN wants to freeze those accounts. Stay with me because today is Wednesday. 4 o'clock will bring you the glass ceiling. And on the glass ceiling, we'll talk about the Abuja raid on women. Last week, I told you that the court gave judgment in favor of some of the women who were wrongly arrested and then brutalized 2 years ago, just for being women in public spaces. And today we're going to talk to some of the people who fought to get justice in this case. 3 of them will be joining us at 4 o'clock. Make sure that you're the 4th person. And then on Balogun and Broad at 5 o'clock, let's talk about the taxes and levies that small businesses pay. SBM Intelligence just released a report on how small businesses and informal businesses are taxed. It says, for example, that 98% of informal businesses pay taxes and levies, but they're paying to non-state actors. So for tax contractors and other agents who are collecting this money, it sounds like a pretty good deal. Am I right? Now, we'll be talking to an analyst with SBM Intelligence about the report at 5 o'clock on our business segment, Balogun and Broad. So make sure you're here when that happens. Of course, you get headlines and business and sports updates every hour on the hour. After 6 o'clock, we'll hand you over to Voice of America for Let's Talk. It's a brilliant conversation that happens every Wednesday from 6:30. But let's get into the big three. First of all, Lagos, right? I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
This is the big three.
The big three.
On Hard Facts. On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Lagos, we're streaming live on Nigeria Info 99.3. Nigeria Info 99.3. You can get in touch with us there, right? My first question, should the federal government be taking the striking resident doctors to court? That's question number 1. Question number 2, should the court have let the CBN freeze fintech accounts for 6 months? And do you agree with the CBN's arguments for the freeze? Those are the big three. Lagos, let's talk. Our first story is an update on the resident doctors strike. NARD restarted the strike. You know that by now. We've talked about that numerous times on Hard Facts. They say that the reason they've restarted the strike is because government has failed to keep its promises. But the federal government says that the doctors have no reason to go back on strike. So they've gone to the industrial court to try to get a no work, no pay order. That's because under the law, the government must keep paying striking workers unless the court says that the strike is groundless. So yesterday, the industrial court sat on the matter. The NARD was there. The Federal Ministry of Health was there. But the Federal Ministry of Labor was not there. And that's strange because the Labor Ministry is the one that brought the suit. The resident doctors are saying that this is a sign that the government is not sincere or serious about ending this standoff. On their part, the government says that the doctors should call off the strike since they have met some of their demands. But the actors released a statement yesterday after the hearing, and they said that they understand that the strike is affecting everyone, but they are starving. Everybody, including themselves, are suffering on this altar. So I want to know what you think, Lagos, about this situation. Do you think the court should grant the no work, no pay request? Is government right to request it to begin with? If you're a resident doctor, I'd love to hear from you on the show today. 0700-993-993-993 for male doctors. For female doctors, 01465-7190. 01465-7190. If you're not a doctor and you have thoughts on this, period, I'd love to hear from you as well. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3. We've also got WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. 080-959-75805. And of course, you can share your thoughts with us on Facebook. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. If you leave us a comment there, we're going to take a look at those comments and, of course, carry them live on the show. 99.3, hello. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. 99.3, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, call me back. Sorry about that. I think there was some connection issue there. That's why you couldn't hear me. 0700-993-993-993. It's currently 12 minutes past 3. You're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. And like I keep saying, we're streaming live everywhere. So get in touch with us. While you're thinking about that first story, let's bring you our second one. But, well, we do have a few calls right now. So I guess, let me come back to the phone lines. Hello.
Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Yes, Ufuma from Agode Jerry.
Welcome, Ufuma.
I will support the doctor because to be sincere, we don't have a government that is very fair to the people and also to the doctor. Let's look at this in a proper way. If the head of the state by himself can travel out of the country and take a good care of himself with one of the best facilities in the whole world in England, and he refused to put his own house in order. So what is the essence that the doctors is? Then to continue the strike, most of the things they are requesting for, by the time they grant onto them, it also favor us. So I'm in support of the doctor. The federal government are not being sincere at all. Do you know that I have a doctor in my church? He told us that in the 5 years to come, we will not even have a doctor again in Nigeria because the way they are treating any opportunity they see like this, they just say bye-bye to the country. So I'm in support of them. They should fight it to finish.
So you don't think that the court should grant no work, no pay order?
I don't think that the court needs to wait. I know that the court will see based on its own judgment. If the court wants to really sincere with the doctor, I don't think that the court needs to support the federal government. They should pay them best right on the strike. This thing.
Oh, no. Ufoma, sorry about that. Call back if you can. I think we're also having some technical difficulties with the phone lines because I'm seeing the calls drop quite a lot. I don't know what's going on with that, but hopefully it fixes up. Godwin is up next. Hello, Godwin. Thank you very much for calling us. Godwin is in Lekki today. Welcome. Go ahead.
So I want to talk about the doctor strike.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the doctor, what they are fighting for, I think, is they're fighting for their own right. So how I will tell them that if the government does not want to grant them their request, I support them to go on this strike. Even if, although it will affect the poor masses, but government needs to be sincere to their promises because you can't be giving a promise today, tomorrow, and then you now fall back on that promise. It's not done anywhere now. So I stand with the doctor. Let them stand and the government come to the table and maybe let them agree to all the terms that they agreed before so that they can call off the strike.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. 99.3. Hello. Hello. Okay. We've got a shy one there. 99.3.
Hello.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. This is Taiwo.
Taiwo, you're calling our female-only line.
Okay, sorry.
All right. 99.3. Hello?
Hello.
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
Hey, I've been trying to call. I'm Dr. Aino.
Dr.
I'm
Aino.
a medical doctor.
Good to have you on the show.
I'm not in the residency program. I'm in the private practice.
Okay.
But I must tell you that we've had it to the neck around here.
Okay.
You know what is going on in the health sector? I'm telling you, you're going to cry for this country. Lost very senior doctors to brain drain. Most of them are not even working as doctors. Most of them have made their mistakes on individuals in Nigeria. They've learned a lot. But they are now going to be helping another community. So when you lose a consultant to brain drain and you replace that person with house officer, you have just brought, the health care of that country to zero level. Now, another information I had from the platform is that the judge has postponed, has adjourned the case to September 15th.
Yeah.
The Ministry of Health said that they want the strike to be solved and people to start a no work, no pay issue. But the judge said there is no how it's going to do that without hearing from the resident doctor.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
The normal way of bullying all the parastatals, they want to do that. But at this point, it never worked for them. I want to beg. I think this should be a fight to finish. If I were to be, the leader of the medical association, I'm going to just warn Nigerians to take all the dead bodies to the government houses. All those who are sick, let them be treated in the government house. If we have about 20 people in front of the president's Auto Rock dying there, they will know it's a serious matter. That's just the way. It's been done in Edo State. After 48 hours, they started looking for the chairman of NMA. Let everybody shut down. Within 24 hours, they will resolve it. And what should be on the paramount, the first thing on our agenda is that nobody travels abroad. Let all of us stay here and fix this health sector. That's just the only way. That should be the agenda, the first thing on the agenda. Okay. The hospitals are not equipped. Sandra, the hospitals are not equipped. I work with government, state government before I left,
Okay.
So have a monitor for a pregnant woman. We have to go and borrow from another ward. These are the issue. You lose patients because of lack of oxygen, because of lack of SpO2 monitor. These are not done. I want to leave this country. You know why? Because of the fact that I want to enjoy good health care. I met somebody, a friend of mine just came to Nigeria, and we're talking. He had peacemaker in his heart. Peacemaker is a device that is used for you for your heart to beat if you already have a heart problem.
Right.
You know, they kept calling this guy from the United States that he needed to come for check-up. So what are we saying? If anybody drops now, the person is dead. So we should fight till this thing to finish. And I want to also make a suggestion. Okay. I think to go back to the table and ask cogent questions. The first thing we should agree on is that the resident doctors, all the doctors in Nigeria, have a meeting, give federal government ultimatum, 3 months ultimatum. If nothing is done, what they call it, NUPENG should go on strike for the doctors. If nothing is done, civil servants, all the civil servants should also join. If they do that, and let the doctors be working to save lives, because a life lost can never be regained. As a doctor, I also have nightmare when I lose patients. These things are not just straightforward. They're not easy. So I feel that if we want to solve this health problem, we should go back to the drawing board and then sit down and give this government 3 months, just 3 months. And within 3 months, after that 3 months, NUPENG should go on strike. All of us should sit at home and shut down the system. Let the doctors be working because we must save lives. And if nothing is done after 3 weeks, the doctors should join. But the first thing on our agenda is that all these big boys should not leave this country again. That's the only way to solve this crisis.
Dr. Aino, thank you so much for calling. Quite the fierce, fiery submission there. If you just tuned into the show, hello to you. It's 21 minutes past 3 o'clock. Our first story is an update on the resident doctors' strike. NARD restarted the strike because they say that the government has failed to keep its promises. But the federal government says the doctors have no reason to go back on strike. So they've gone to the industrial court to try and get a no work, no pay order. Because under the law, the government must keep paying striking workers unless the court says that the strike does not have grounds. Yesterday, the industrial court sat on the matter. NARD was there. Federal Ministry of Health was there. Federal Ministry of Labor was not there. Which is strange because now Labor Ministry now carry them go court. And resident doctors are saying that this is a sign that the government is not sincere, is not serious about ending this standoff. The government says on their part that doctors should call off the strike since they have met some of their demands. But the doctors released a statement yesterday after the hearing, and they said that they understand that the strike is affecting everybody, but they're starving. And I want to know what you think about this. Do you think the court should go ahead and grant that no work, no pay request? Do you think government is right to even request it? If you're a doctor, I specifically want to hear from you. Our number is 0700-993-993-993 for male doctors. For female doctors, 01465-7190. Female doctors, 01465-7190. If you're not a doctor, I still want to hear from you anyway, because I want to hear your thoughts about this situation. You're the one who this thing is affecting. You're the one who needs the healthcare. You're the one who needs the doctors. We're in the middle of a pandemic, for crying out loud. So these are trying times. Joy is Nabulegba. Let's talk to Joy. Hi, Joy.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening,
Sandra.
Welcome.
Yes, I support the last caller. He really made a salient point. Now, in addition to what he said, I also want to say our government are just insincere, and also they have a misplacement of priority. They don't prioritize the issues they are supposed to hold at heart, like our medical care, our education. These are supposed to be their priority, number one, before every other thing will follow suit. Now, I also want to suggest that our leaders should not go out for any medical attention. If you know you want to take any political office, know that you're going to be treated here. No matter who you are, what you are, what money you have, be treated here. So by so doing, when they go to the public...
Oh, sorry about that, Joy. If you can, please call us back. 99.3, hello.
Hello, Sandra.
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
I'm Mercy calling from Ikorodu.
Hi, Mercy.
Essay, not Mercy.
Oh, Essay. Hi, Essay. Welcome.
Okay, now, the resident doctor and federal government. Sandra, if our National Assembly put it into law that any office holder, any politician, from the local to the federal, will not leave this country for any medical checkup, you will see our health sector will be okay. It's because any little cough, fiam, death, they are out. Any slight headache, they are out. So they feel like they can do anything they want to do. And nobody has power over them. That is why they are saying, no work, no payment. It's not their fault.
Well, the only people who will make the law is, are they themselves. It's like telling a ram to vote for Salah or chicken to vote for Christmas. They won't do it. Yeah.
And that was what happened during the NSAS protest when they saw the list the youth brought out for them.
Right.
That was what happened. That was why they killed those youths for nothing. They are selfish leaders. and God will judge them one after the other. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling, SA. Let's go to WhatsApp and see the comments there, and then we'll take a break, come back, and I'll tell you how the Federal High Court in Abuja has frozen the banks of some fintechs for 6 months. That's our second story. I'll tell you about it after the break. But here on WhatsApp, Sandra, there's nothing this government will do because government officials and their families don't receive medical checkup here in Nigeria. Nyako Uko Jasper from Oba with that message. Sandra, my name is Ade from Surulere. The Labour Minister is now becoming a terrible joker. He's trying to use blackmail and bullying to cover his pathetic incompetence in handling all affairs in his ministry, especially the doctors and ASU strikes. I'll be highly disappointed if the courts entertain such rubbish moves and actions. The courts should throw the suit in the faces of the minister and his incompetent officials. Isn't it the government who obviously failed to keep to their promises? It's a shame to hear that some states are owing doctors up to 19 months' salaries. Has any of these governments, political office holders, politicians owed 1 naira of their crazy, ridiculous salaries and allowances? Shame on all of them. They don't have any shame or conscience in their DNA. God will judge and punish all of them. Okay. Thank you very much for your message, Lagos. We'll take a break. After the break, when we come back, let's talk about the CBN freezing the accounts of some fintech organizations for 6 months. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three.
On Hard Facts. On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
This your keke now. Omnibiz go deliver your goods to your shop fast. Just go their website shop.omnibiz.com or download the app. You fit even call them on 0700 005 5555. Omnibiz, online market for your store.
Everybody needs a little help every now and then. Sometimes it's sugar or salt, or an extra hand to change a flat tire, or a small loan. At Kuda Microfinance Bank, we believe that your bank should do more than just store your money. We want to do more for you. So when you use your Kuda accounts to pay bills, buy airtime, and make transfers regularly, we'll offer you an overdraft, which is a low-interest loan that you can take anytime you need it. No long talk, no collateral, no paperwork involved. Just download Kuda on the Play Store or the App Store, open a Kuda account, and use it regularly to qualify for a Kuda overdraft. Kuda, free banking for you.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
The Federal High Court in Abuja has frozen the bank accounts of some fintechs for 6 months. And that's our second story. The High Court granted an exparte request from the central bank against RiseVest, Chaka, Bamboo, and Trove. In case you don't know these companies, they let their users buy and trade in shares, bonds, and other securities from around the world. So you open your account with them, you fund your wallet, then you can trade on the US stock market, for example, or even the Nigerian stock market, for example, which is ironically more difficult to trade on. So these days, lots of young Nigerian professionals are using these apps to invest their savings, right? They're doing this because, of course, it's getting harder and harder to find good investments that give a decent return that is higher than inflation and devaluation. I'm not talking about those weird ones that are promising you heaven and earth. But the CBN has some problems with these services, which is why they approached the court. And in our final story, we're going to go into the details of what the CBN you put in front of the court, the details of their case. And you'll tell me whether or not you believe that it has merit. But for now, Let's look at the actions that the court has taken. Or the action, it's one action that the court has taken. CBN asked the court to freeze these companies' accounts for 6 months while it investigates. Now, this was an ex parte motion, so the companies were not in court to argue against the request. The judge granted it, said the companies can come and argue against it in the next sitting. And you're asking yourself, oh, that's not bad. When is the next sitting? February 20th, 2022. For 6 months. So the companies can come and ask the court not to freeze their accounts for 6 months after the 6 months are up. Do you think that that's a fair ruling? The CBN says that it needs the accounts frozen so that these companies don't move their money overseas. On the other hand, the companies have customers who will not be able to access their money for 6 months if this order is enforced. So there's a question of harm to those people's finances. Then there's the companies themselves. Because bear in mind that they've not been found guilty of any offense. The CBN has merely accused them. This includes both what's it called now? The CBN has merely accused them, and the CBN is asking for time to investigate. But now all of their accounts are being frozen, and this includes fund accounts with their clients' money, operational accounts from which they handle business expenses like paying salaries, settling vendors. So imagine a scenario where after all the investigations, we find out that the companies are innocent. How would this 6 months freeze without ability to appeal it affect these businesses and their employees? And if they are innocent, would this have caused them unfair and unnecessary damage? If you are a lawyer, and I'm glad Ade from Surulere is listening because he's a lawyer. If you're a lawyer, talk to me about ex parte motions, about the ex parte process. Was ex parte applied properly in this situation? Let's talk, really. Lagos, talk to me. What do you think about this order to freeze these accounts for 6 months, with the companies not getting a chance to argue against it? Women call me on 01465-7190. Men call me on 0700-993-993. We're streaming live on Facebook, so we'll take your comments from Facebook as well. There's WhatsApp 080-959-75805. And yes, you can still talk about the first story with the doctor's strike. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. It's 33 minutes now past 3 o'clock. 99.3, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for calling.
Hello, Sandra.
What's your name, ma'am?
This is Chino.
Chinonye, my namesake.
Alpha.
Hi, day. And she has put me on hold. Chinonye, call me back when you can. 99.3. Yes, hello. How are you? What's your name?
Good afternoon.
Odima Kekime. I alone no kafage. Welcome.
This issue of this doctor issue. You know we have problem with the Nigeria both Labour Congress, all these government workers.
Okay.
Is that anytime they go on strike, even teachers, doctors, all the institution in Nigeria, anytime they go on strike, they will later, during the actual the same thing, they will later end the strike without you see any benefit of the strike.
Okay.
This doctor strike, and they will see edit when the people on top, their leaders, when they bribe them now, or let me not use the word bribe, when they had a secret meeting now, they will resolve this strike without you seeing any benefit of this strike now. And after 3-4 months now, they will start calling on another strike again. Because they will have the mind now and resist on this strike now. At least let it take for months and let them see what they are looking for. It's okay. But after every now, where we have problem with them now is that after every now they will end it without them seeing any benefit, without we outsiders see benefit of the strike.
Okay.
But
oh, sorry about that. Call back if you can. 99.3. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, call back, please. That can be frustrating. 99.3. Hello.
Yeah, Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
This is Mr. Frank from Odo Alaba.
Welcome, Mr. Frank.
Yes. I want to talk about all these doctors.
Okay.
I'm not happy about all these things that is happening.
Okay.
Buhari have traveled for his own treatment. Assuming that all these UK doctors, they are on strike, who will have treated him? Assuming that the UK doctors are on no work, no pay, who will have treated him? And he's the president of this country. You take care of yourself. You doesn't take care of the people you are ruling. Is he good? Is he not a human being that has blood and water in his veins? Why are we behaving like this? Ngige is not a happy matter at all. Thinking that he's on top of the heaven, that nothing can happen to him. And he can do whatever he wants. After all, they are the ones running things in this country. If they are saying no work, no pay, did they pay the one the doctors have already worked? Assuming that they paid, all these doctors could then have gone to a strike. Why threatening them with no work, no pay? Why the ones they have worked, you did not pay? Is it not better all of them, even the private hospital stuff, everybody should shut down? Even chemists, pharmacists, everybody that even the sellers, even the ones that is carrying baskets from up and down, everybody that is dealing on drugs should shut down in this country. Let them settle this once and for all. I think that is the only thing that is the better. It should be better like that, so that they all ear will hear what. At least people outside will call them and ask them, are you a human being listening to what is happening in this country? Sandra, thank you.
All right, Frank, thank you very much for calling. We appreciate it. Let's take a look at WhatsApp messages here. The CBN, the federal government, are just anti-people, anti-youth, and economic anti-growth of its citizens. The same way they went after cryptocurrency and closed that route, and not like they do anything to help businesses grow or even support citizens with anything. The rich want the poor to remain poor at all costs. Sad. That's a message from Cyril Joe, who also says our leaders are wicked, selfish, heartless. The doctors should keep up with the strike. I support them completely. Let's take a look at more messages here on WhatsApp. Pastor Nath in Satellite Town says, I think the doctors should persist in this strike until their needs are met. Sandra, ironically, the SEC, which is supposed to be an arm of CBN, has granted Chaka a license after thoroughly examining them. Now, CBN is banning their accounts. The two agencies don't even communicate with each other. It's a shame. Frank from Yaba with that message. Frank, thank you very much with your message. If at the end of 6 months, the fintech companies are found not to be guilty, it will be like the case of Zakzaki and his wife. God have mercy on innocent Nigerians. Olorunda, Tessie from Idumu with that message. Tessie, thank you very much for sending in your message. We have a message here from Philip. Philip says, I lost a mentor who was involved in a ghastly accident on Friday morning. Do you know that this man died because of the failure of this government, Sandra? All government hospitals rejected him because they are on strike. This man bled till he died before we could locate a military hospital by 10 p.m. Accident that happened since early in the morning. Auntie Sandra, can we still call this a country? Philip from Ikoton with that message. Philip, I'm so terribly sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Let's take a look at more messages that we have here. Dabo Ajiboye says, All what you and people have said is okay. But if you decide to fight a madman, both of you become mad. Why are doctors wasting people's lives when they know the government they are fighting is deaf and dumb? Are we not going to say the doctors are also deaf and dumb to their patients? Why can't they wait for another government in the next 18 months? If you really investigate, you'll find that the resident doctors are greedy. They are not taking less than 700K monthly. That's simply not true. Resident doctors are not making. If resident doctors are making 700,000 monthly, do you think they'll be leaving the country in their numbers? My guy, I beg. All right, let's take a look at more messages here. Ifeanyi Okwolisa from Iba says, I think if we are sincere, then leaving the shores of Nigeria for medical attention by public office holders should be outlawed. By then, we can see the seriousness about addressing the healthcare issues. Well, I mean, let's hope that President Buhari does as he has promised to do when he was in the UK. He did pledge to ensure that more money is allocated to healthcare. That way, we can have more quality healthcare. He made that pledge while he was in the UK at that meeting. So let's hope that there's some action, backing up those words. But let me take you to our third story, right? And our third story is looking at CBN's arguments in court, one by one. Don't forget that for our second story, I told you that a federal high court in Abuja has frozen the bank accounts of some fintechs for 6 months, right? And I told you that the high court granted an exparte motion from the central bank against RiseVest, Chaka, Bamboo, and Trove. Now, the CBN says that these companies are operating an asset management company. They're operating asset management companies without licenses. Now, we've not heard from Chaka yet, but of course, like you heard a listener say, they just got their SEC license. They even made the news a few months ago when they received the first ever license from the SEC for online trading. That's when they received their license. SEC, of course, is the Securities and Exchange Commission. They are the regulator for stock markets and brokers. So it's going to be interesting to hear what Chaka has to say about this allegation of operating without a license. Now, the other guys, RiseVest says that they've partnered with licensed asset managers. So they don't have a license, but their partners have licenses. It's the same way that a startup without a banking license will partner with a microfinance bank, for example. There's still no response from Bamboo and Trove about whether or not the license allegation is true, but that's the argument about licenses. The CBN also accused them of disobeying a July 2015 memo about Forex. Now, I read that memo last night. It lists 41 items that are, quote, not valid for Forex. Basically, if you get Forex from the CBN, you cannot use it to buy these 41 items. Also, you cannot sell the Forex to someone who is using it for these 41 items. And item number 41 on this list is, quote, Euro bond, foreign currency bond, share purchase, end quote. What that means is that the CBN has made it clear 6 years ago that it will come after anybody who uses Forex from the CBN to buy foreign shares. But the question is, did these companies use Forex from CBN? Because remember, whenever somebody accuses the CBN of banning these 41 items, CBN always says, no, we didn't ban them all. If you can get Forex from another source, go ahead and buy them. That's what CBN always says. So the question is, does the CBN have proof that these startups were using CBN Forex to buy these securities? Does the CBN have proof that they did not get the Forex from other sources? And then the third thing that the CBN accused them of is cryptocurrency. CBN says RiseVest has been trading in crypto and that this violates the CBN's order from earlier this year. Now, an argument is being made that this order doesn't apply to RiseVest since they are not a financial institution as defined by the CBN. However, the counter argument is that the CBN gave the anti-crypto order to banks. The banks are meant to block and freeze the accounts of any company trading in crypto. So if that order is legal and valid, the argument is that banks would have a duty to freeze RiseVest's account. And we've now heard from some of the companies. Bamboo has said, quote, "We are aware of the recent reports about us. Our legal and government relations teams are looking into it, but we thought it was important to let you know that your money remains safe with Bamboo and will always be readily accessible," end quote. RiseVest said, quote, "About the latest news about us and our forex dealings, you can be sure that your investments and funds are safely managed, that funding and withdrawals will continue to be processed as normal, and that our U.S. operations remain intact. We will work with regulators, as we always have, to ensure that all issues raised are properly addressed. However, this does not affect our users or their investments, which are managed by regulated third parties in all jurisdictions in which we operate," end quote. So that's it, Lagos. Let's talk. What do you think about the arguments that the CBN made against these companies to obtain the order to freeze their accounts? Do you believe these arguments have merit? Do you believe that they're worth investigating? Do you believe that the CBN should be pursuing this line of action? What do you think about this order to freeze these accounts for 6 months? With the companies not getting a chance to argue against it? And yes, you can still talk about our first story. 0700-993-993-993 for men, 01465-71904 for women. Adechewa is in Ikorodu. Adechewa, welcome.
Adechewa from Ikorodu. Good afternoon, Ms.
Good afternoon, welcome.
The way you pronounce my name is
That's how they wrote it for me. Oh, sorry. Please teach me the right way to pronounce it.
No problem. I want to comment on that first story.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Please, I lost a junior sister of mine on May 1st due to this strike.
I'm sorry.
But we took her to Shagamu. She was down with diabetes.
Oh.
So when we rushed her there, they said it's just 5 minutes we got there that the strike started. But one thing about it is that before we came to Ikorodu or to the general hospital here, they were able to attend to her. I saw the way they rushed her. They were able to quickly put her on oxygen and everything. You know, that kind of a thing. But see, one fundamental thing I noticed in that Shagamu general hospital was that the woman that was talking to me, you will see the emotions on her face that she really wanted to help.
Okay.
You won't believe it. Okay. She wanted to help, but she couldn't. She said, "Okay, madam, if I admit your sister now, who is going to take care of her? Should I just admit her and just leave her there?" And when we got to Odonguyon, what is it called, Hold Up, we spent 2 hours in the middle of the road.
Okay.
In fact, my immediate junior brother had to come down and was shouting, "Please help! My sister is dying! Please help!" It turned to a water because of that. People started, as the motorists started moving for us to move.
Okay.
See, one thing I know is that those people that are saying they want to drag them to court, they're inhuman. Because I continue to say it. In fact, till every day, this thing always, I'm quite emotional now. I don't want to break down, actually. But what I'm looking at is like, what if they have answered her in that Shagamu Hospital? She will have been in her life now.
Exactly.
So one thing, the way they are treating our daughters is unfair. To me, very, very unfair. How will you be paying hazard allowance 5,000 naira for crying out loud? 5,000 naira. And somebody was saying they are getting up to 700,000. Who will get 700,000 naira salary and want to go outside the country? See the statistics somebody made the last said that every day a daughter leaves the country.
That's right.
Every day,
that's right,
a doctor leaves the country.
That's right.
How many is going to remain very soon? Have a nice day, Sandra.
Thank you so much for calling us. You know, it helps you understand why Nigerians pray a lot. It also helps you understand why when Nigerians leave the country, they don't pray as much as they used to when they were in Nigeria. Let's take a look at WhatsApp. I'm sure we've got messages here. Ifeanyi Okwolisa says CBN should go after the numerous dubious businesses scattered across the country and stop chasing shadows. All right. Thank you very much. Femi Abiodun says, now, wow, that's somebody sending me a message that is not related. Israel from Osborne says, Sandra, during COVID-19 lockdown, it was small-scale business that sustained this country when all the big businesses were closed. Chris Ngige is building a multi-billion naira mansion in Milverton, Ikoyi with the same minimum wage money he refused to pay workers. This country is wicked. IPT Chaka Rice Vest and Bamboo. 6 months and their businesses will be shut down. Thank God I was born in Cameroon. Once it happens, I will run to my second country. Israel from Osborne. Thank you very much. Now, I can't confirm that mansion story, but that's what Israel is saying. Adeshino Ayotimbo from Matogun says, this must be a fight to the finish. This policy must be made henceforth. No government official travels abroad for medical attention any longer, and they must not be allowed to use private hospitals. I think this shall help us to get many things right this time. Health links with virtually everything. Izechuku is in Surulere. I think that's Izuchuku. Is that Izuchuku or Izechuku?
Izuchuku, IZU.
Welcome. Welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yes, it's concerning the Nigerian doctors issue.
Right.
Honestly, it's a very big shame for this country to be talking about this at this time. It's unfair. It's quite unfair. We have gone beyond this kind of mess. To be fair to you, these doctors are humanitarians. If somebody falls sick, we know the cost of falling sick, and we know the cost of recovery. So I don't think Nigeria should be talking about not paying the doctors. Nigeria government should take this more than serious. All of them, all the politicians, any one of them can fall sick. What I'm saying is that these people are humanitarians. If Nigeria can waste about how many billion on one infrastructure, why don't we put these billions into lives, into the people that save lives? It's when one is alive, you'll be able to spend your wealth. So what are we talking about? It is it's high time that we should stop talking about this kind of a thing. It's unfair. Honestly, it's unfair. There is need to look into this matter. It's about life and death. And you can imagine there is an emergency, but there will be no doctor. Right. No nurse to attend to somebody who is dying. So, for instance, if one rich man is maybe is at the point of dying, now no one to attend to him, maybe one of the top politicians, and no one to attend to him, he dies. So, what we're talking about, please let them. This it's enough. It's enough. I wouldn't want to hear this kind of thing that coming up again. Let them sort this thing once and for all.
Izujuku, thank you for calling. Abdul Ganiyu Jimo says the resident doctors are now behaving like ASU, who goes on strike at every little time. Ijowo Olasukami says, to be frank with you, the government is a dream killer with all these draconian economic policies. We've got MC Thank God, who says, I give the resident doctors my full support. They should keep pressing on their demands. Buhari has traveled abroad for medical treatment. When will Nigeria ever get to a state whereby leaders from across the world come for medical checkup and treatments here in Nigeria? All right. Muyiwa Akinwumi has a message for us, but we'll take a look at that message when we come back from this break. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. In a few minutes, the glass ceiling. Don't go away.
This your keke na wow. Make my market no fall.
Madam, fast, abeg. Nobody dey my shop. Why this person dey stay for me now? Wahala no dey finish.
Order your goods, so enter market just to open your store. Don't need that at all. Them go deliver your goods straight to your door. Check out. Omnibiz, online market for your store. Omnibiz go deliver your goods to your shop fast. Just go their website shop.omnibiz.com or download the app. You fit even call them on 0700 005 5555. Omnibiz, online market for your store.
Everybody needs a little help every now and then. Sometimes it's sugar or salt or an extra hand to change a flat tire or a small loan. At Kuda Microfinance Bank, we believe that your bank should do more than just store your money. We want to do more for you, so when you use your Kuda account to pay bills, buy airtime, and make transfers regularly, we'll offer you an overdraft, which is a low-interest loan that you can take anytime you need it. No long talk, no collateral, no paperwork involved. Just download Kuda on the Play Store or the App Store, open a Kuda account, and use it regularly to qualify for Kuda Overdraft. Kuda, free banking for you.
The most common drug that damages the liver is paracetamol, what we call acetaminophen.
Are you interested in health? Then join Dr. Fred on the Health and Safety Cafe every Friday, 2:30 p.m. It's time to talk about health on your number one station for talk, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
You're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's take a look at that comment on Facebook, was it? All right, I think someone has just closed my Facebook tab, and unfortunately, I can't access that comment anymore. Tunde, what did I do to you? Why did you close my Facebook tab, my man? Why? Why did you do that to me? Why? All right, let me come to the phone lines. 99.3, hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
My name is Dapam from Ojo.
Dapo, welcome. Go ahead.
I just want to, my take is about this medical doctor on strike.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Please, I want them to take their stand. They should not return back to work until every agreement is being implemented. Nigeria is not a place, they breach agreement, government breach agreement at will. And for this reason, they should not. They are the only one, all these professional bodies are the only one that can fight the government to stand still. Fight them to stand still so that they will know what they are doing is not good. In a situation where a senator is having 30, 40, 70 million in a month, and a medical doctor is suffering. It's of no use. Please, they should stand there. Nigeria is in support. We are in support of them. Please, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for giving us a call. We've got a message on WhatsApp. Well, we've got several messages on WhatsApp. So let's take a look at this one from our day in Surulere. He says, as this is a civil matter, exparte motion is used to refer to motions for orders that can be granted without waiting for a response from the other side. But the courts should always consider every possible angle or danger to the innocent victims before granting such orders. I personally don't think that CBN were sincere in seeking for such actions. CBN seems to be chasing shadows on behalf of this government. CBN and the government have a very sinister agenda on this matter. Okay, all right. Those Nigerian political office holders stealing our money and jetting themselves with our money for medical treatment, I wish them now, wow, Ade, you people should not get me into trouble with these messages you keep sending to me. Kilo Day. We've got Baba KK, who says, Sandra, they should pay the doctors 1 million. How much is their own salary? Baba KK is from Victoria Island. Okay. That's how our short-sighted leaders do. They will bury a person, then they will carry the dead body to court for questioning. God will judge these leaders, these rulers, not leaders. That's Pastor Oluwasami Abiodun from Reason Christ Street. I wish we had more time to take all your messages and all your calls. I'm seeing that my phone lines are going crazy, but not to worry. We're going to have this conversation again next week on the Big Hard Fact. I don't know what day yet, but we will come back to this conversation. Let's bring you business news and then talk about something that happened 2 years ago when women on the streets of Abuja were randomly being arrested.
News.
Former Nigerian ambassador to the United States.
Sports.
That's the Belgian who doesn't miss. Bottom right corner, Manchester City.
And the best talk. Best talk. All at your fingertips on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.